Right then, this is a really easy one to make, very simple. You've all had them before, you all think they're lovely. It is scones. That is a scone, not a scone. Don't at me, don't bring it in at the bottom. If anybody else disagrees with that, just go and watch somebody else's video. 350 grams self-raising flour. Now, you can sift it if you like, or you can give it a whisk, right? Now, whisking it will break up those crumbs anyway. And then into that, I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of baking powder, okay? Mix that together. And then I'm going to add 85 grams of diced butter and a little pinch of salt. And if you want to, you can put it on a food mixer if you like, but it's something quite nice. I mean, we've got plenty of time. Just going to start working it with my fingers, start breaking it up. You kind of get to that breadcrumby stage. Just get on with it. You can stick the radio on if you like, chill out, have a bit of the telly on in the background. You want to make sure that all that butter begins to break up, and it does take a while. You see slowly the butter, the fat kind of just breaks down and starts mixing into the flour. And in the pan next to me, I've got 175 millilitres of milk that's just been warmed through. It's kind of like blood temperature, just a touch over. I'm going to mix it together into this, but before I do that, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of caster sugar. And then here I've got a slice of lemon. I'm just going to add just a little squeeze of lemon juice into the milk. Then I'm going to add the milk to my flour mix. And get your hands back in. I'm just going to form our dough mix. So now you can see that the mix has come together, okay? Smooth it out just a little bit. Now if you want to, you can roll this, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use my hands, and on a chopping board, a bit of flour, and I get my scone mix. Now I want it to be, what do you say that is, 3-4 centimetres high? That's kind of what I'm looking for. They'll bake up a little bit more. I'm going to cut them out with cutters, so I'm going to use a cutter that sort of size. Now the thing about cutters, when you put it in, you don't want to twist, alright? You'll twist the dough, but it'll go a funny shape. That's when you get them lopsided-ish. Scone, out, pop it straight on. Okay, so I've got 5 scones there. This dough, I'm going to re-roll, and you can probably re-roll it once, twice. You'll be looking, it'll be a little bit overworked and they won't be as great, okay? We'll see if we can see the difference in the dough when it bakes. Right then. Now, we want to kind of want to put a wash on them. So here, just got yolks, okay? 2 yolks, just been beaten, broken up with this pastry brush. Put a very simple glaze on the top, okay? Okay, and then go back and give it just a secondary kind of glaze on the top, right? Just this, all these little bits now, this sort of thing will make the difference between these scones looking good and looking great. Just kind of massage that egg into the top of the scones. You feel it beginning to go sticky just as it works with the flour, and a bit of the gluten's there, and that's kind of what you want. You just want this lovely glaze. Now if you wanted to, you could put fruit in that scone mix, some dried fruit, some raisins, some currants, sultanas if you like, or some mixed peel. The oven's 200 degrees centigrade. In it goes 10 minutes. Right then, to go with these scones, instead of jam, I'm going to do some beer poached strawberries. Hot pan, some real ale. That pan was hotter than I thought it was going to be. And then into that, I'm going to put probably 1-2 tablespoons of golden syrup. Put that back onto the heat. We're going to bring it to the boil, and we're going to reduce it down, okay? So we've got these lovely beery hops kind of flavours that come from that real ale, and the sweetness from golden syrup, absolutely delicious. And then as that's coming to the boil, cinnamon stick, and infuse those flavours. We just want to turn that heat down just a little. It's a rapid boil I'm looking for, but one that rolls, one that helps it kind of, that's it, we're on now, we're on. Strawberries, amazing, okay? I'm going to try, keep them, large ones like this in half, slightly smaller ones like this, going to keep them whole. You want all the bubbles to kind of disappear from the beer. You don't want it to have any of that kind of like the foamy head on that you might have on a pint of beer. You want all of those to disappear, so you've got this lovely syrupy flavours. tastes amazing. That golden syrup is absolutely delicious. Okay, so you can see it's kind of on a rolling boil, and it's now quite much more syrupy rather than beery, if that's a real word. And then at this point, I'm just going to throw in my strawberries and let the sweetness kind of just infuse into those strawberries, and the heat just begin to break them down. I'm actually going to turn the heat off and just let them to soak up some of that flavour. Little splash of red wine vinegar, and then I'm going to put a lid on. I haven't got like a real lid. I'm just going to stick that on and leave them to one side just to cool. That simple. Look at these guys. Yes, they look great, don't they? Now you can see the three that were the re-roll. They're just slightly different. They're slightly twisted, okay, but they still look great. I'm going to put the scones onto the rack to cool. So there we go, there we have it. Scones baked, lovely. Look at that, puffed up, delicious. Onto that big blob clotted cream. Served with it some of these beer poached strawberries. Look at them. Sweet, syrupy, malty, bit of an alternative to jam. A really lovely alternative to a clotted cream tea. Scones, jam-ish, clotted cream, amazing, simple to make, super tasty.